Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of UA Eats. I'm UA, and yeah, I'm in Toronto. I decided to make an impromptu trip back here to review some places that I didn't get to eat last time. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to hit every spot that I wanted to. In particular, Harbor 60, I think is what it's called. Harbor 60 was definitely on my list, and a lot of people say that that's a must steakhouse to review in Toronto. But yeah, it turns out that they're closed for renovations. So, but yeah, I figured this video would focus on Canadian chains. If you followed my channel, I know some people, maybe they only watch certain topics, so a lot of people think that I only do steak reviews, and they're like, oh, UA's back! You know, when they finally see another steak review, and it's like, I haven't gone anywhere. But loyal followers of this channel know that, you know, we eat food of all levels of price range and all levels of prestige and accessibility on this channel. So you know what, I think today we're gonna focus on just some Canadian chains, like, you know, maybe in particular some Canadian fast food chains. So number one on the list obviously is, I've never been to Tim Hortons. I've actually passed by a few Tim Hortons when I was in Western New York, when I was in Rochester, New York, and Buffalo, but that makes sense because it's pretty much just right by the Canadian border. So ironically, Tim Hortons has kind of been hyped up a little bit to the point where many people say it's overrated now. So let's try Tim Hortons, why don't we? All right, here we are at Tim Hortons, and this one is even open 24/7. Although I could be mistaken, I feel like Tim Hortons is more of like a breakfast place, right? So not really sure why people need coffee in the middle of the night, but I guess it makes sense if you're like a student, or if you're like a, you know, like a banker or like a journalist hitting some deadlines or something. But yeah, I mean, it does seem really popular. I mean, I see lots of people walking by carrying like the Tim Horton logo on their coffee cups and on their takeout bags. So let's warm up with some of the Tim Horton coffee, why don't we? Do you have strawberry frosted? No? Okay. I'll do this vanilla dip donut here. I'll do one of these vanilla dip, and and a small hot coffee also. All right, so trying Tim Hortons for the first time, and they really are going ham. Do people still say that, ham? Probably not. I think that even fizzled out during my generation, but they're really going hard on the Canadian branding here, the Canadian flag front and center on their logo here. They got the Canadian flag too, like the maple leaf, you know, kind of carved into the coffee cup at the top here. And yeah, my understanding is that this is basically like Canadian Dunkin' Donuts. They got sandwiches, they got donuts of course, and they got coffee. And the coffee here is supposed to be great. I hear specifically a lot of people get like a particular coffee combo here with like, I think 2 sugars and two creams or something, but I just got milk since I don't like sugar in my coffee. I don't like it to be too sweet. But it's a shame that they do not have strawberry frosted donut. That's usually my go-to. But this is a vanilla frosted donut with, look at all these sprinkles. Holy moly, like it almost looks like a children's like ball pit or something, like stuck on top of a donut. I don't know, like you want a birthday cake flavored donut, and this is like a birthday cake flavored donut on steroids or something. Piping hot coffee, welcome on a day like this. So, oh, burned myself. Oh, it's too hot. Ooh. It didn't just burn my tongue, it burned like my lips. Ooh. Let's remove the lid so we can better gauge the where the coffee is when we're drinking. This probably wasn't covered in Canada, but my American audience, you may remember that at one point, I think in the early 2000s, there was a case where somebody sued, I think it was McDonald's, for the coffee being too hot. A lot of people think of that as like a frivolous, greedy lawsuit, but in reality, it actually was quite a serious matter, and the lady had a really good case. Like the coffee was like pretty much like 10 times hotter or something like that than it should have been. It caused like 3rd-degree burns on her and everything. And yeah, I mean, apparently that lawsuit was really revolutionary in like setting like safety standards for coffee. So I'm not saying that this coffee is too hot, but I'm just saying that scorching hot coffee is a hazard. The coffee's okay. It kind of just tastes like your typical like fast food coffee. I much prefer Dunkin' Donuts to this, so I don't know if they have Dunkin' Donuts in Canada, but if so, I'm gonna keep my eye out for it since I definitely am more of a Dunkin' fan than this. This coffee, it's rather weak. I like that it kind of has like a mild sweetness. The flavor of it's pretty decent, but it just generally tastes like pretty watered down and not really strong enough at all, strong enough in flavor or strong enough in caffeine. So yeah, this coffee is not my favorite, if I can be honest. Maybe it would have been better had I gotten it black. Maybe the milk even tempered down some of the caffeine and the coffee flavor even more. So still, it does its job on this frigid Canadian day. But let's try it with the donut, because coffee and donuts after all, right? Let's see how this ball pit on top of a vanilla donut tastes. I mean, there are way too many sprinkles. Like the whole thing is just, all I taste are the sprinkles. Like, you know, crunch, crunch, crunch in your mouth. It really is like I'm eating like, you know, a bunch of tiny little marbles or something because there's just so many sprinkles. It's okay. I get that maybe this is the one that I chose. I could tell that it was gonna taste like this just by the way it looked. So, you know what? I tried it, so I guess that's on me. I could have gotten one without all these little sprinkles or balls or whatever on them. I will say though that the donut on the inside is quite nice. Like the donut's not too greasy, not too oily. Like it's got like a nice chew to it. Like it's fluffy and spongy and, you know, not too airy, not too doughy either. Like it's a good balance, like the texture of the donut. And it's got a nice sweet, like delicious, like kind of like cakey flavor. Like it kind of tastes like a cake. Actually, this sort of does almost taste like a birthday cake in a way. So the donut's not bad. I mean, aside from the overload of sprinkles, I might, you know, if this were a normal donut, I might prefer this to Dunkin' Donuts. Bite of that, and a sip of this. I mean, coffee and donuts, such a winning combination. Is there anything better for breakfast than coffee and donuts? They do go well together. In my opinion, I still think that the Dunkin' Donuts match their coffee a little bit more, but it does taste good together. Maybe a Dunkin' Donuts coffee would go well with a Tim Hortons donut. Who knows? Maybe we can try that someday. I think this is sufficiently cooled down enough where I can put the lid back on to preserve heat. I might try one of the sandwiches since it's not every day that I'm in Toronto, right? So. By the way, I almost forgot to mention that the prices here are crazy good. If you order like a hot coffee, you get a donut for just $1. And again, keep in mind, this is Canadian dollars, not American dollars. So I think the coffee was like $1.50. So in American, that's like what, like $1, maybe $1.15 or something. And then a $1 donut, 75 cents. So this winning combination here was like $1.75 or something like that. So crazy. So I actually decided that I should also get a sandwich, you know, since it's not every day that I'm here. So, and I got a bacon, egg and cheese on an English muffin. And ooh, take a look at this table. This table is like it's like a hockey rink. Kind of interesting, right? Although in the middle there almost looks like a Pokeball or something. So guess they're you know, can't find a more Canadian store than this. Pretty solid looking bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich though. Like the bacon's looking oily and crispy. And yeah, I got a good feeling about this. I think we found the point of entry. Actually, the sandwich is pretty good. I would say the sandwich is definitely higher quality than like Dunkin'. The eggs are super fresh. If you grew up in the US, you know what I mean. None of those like eggs from like a kind of like poured from like a milk carton sort of, if you know what I mean. Eggs in liquid form that's cooked and solidified, and it's really weird and off-putting. Like this is super fresh egg, probably cracked from individual eggs. I hope, you know, it certainly tastes fresh. American cheese, but the cheese tastes great, you know, it goes well. I mean, American cheese I think is too often panned. Like I think it does go well with some sandwiches due to how it melts. The bacon is nice too. My main beef with the bacon is that maybe I could have requested this. I would like if the bacon were more crispy. Like I think it could be cooked more to be crispier, especially in a sandwich like this, because in a sandwich you want it to be crispy bacon so that it adds like that textural crunch, like a crunch to the sandwich, which makes the soft eggs and the soft cheese, you know, really adds a good contrast and is great. In this case, the bacon could stand to be crispier, I think, but maybe that's just how they like it up here. And also, maybe I could have just asked for the bacon to be crispier. So, you know, I'm digging this a lot. So one more bite of this, and then let's head back to the Airbnb because need to get some editing done. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so we did some work and we're taking our lunch break now. And, you know, while in Canada, of course, we got to get poutine while we're here. And I figured, why not try the biggest poutine chain? Why not try the biggest fast food poutine, you might say? So, actually, right above a pretty interesting looking Indian restaurant. I mean, Toronto is just crazy, crazy diverse and so much great ethnic foods here. So this place, Chashka, looks like a Indian street food place, probably like more like a fast food place. Right above it is Smoke's Poutinery. Now this is one of, if not the biggest poutine chain in Toronto, the biggest of the fast food poutines. We actually had probably the second or third biggest chain. They actually have one in New Jersey. That place is called New York Fries. Yeah, like New York City, but it's called New York Fries, and it specializes in poutine and hot dogs. And at least sorry, there's some construction nearby. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I'll do my best. Maybe just that location, but the poutine there is just, it's amazing. It's really, really, really good. So a place that is even bigger than New York Fries, like number one, is, you know, likely to be even better, it looks like. And looks like they have all sorts of flavors. They have a bacon cheeseburger, they have chicken bacon, and then at the bottom here, a Korean barbecue poutine. That looks interesting. You know, most likely we're gonna go with their standard poutine. When in Rome, so let's try it. All right, so I just ordered my poutine and they have a ton of flavors. Like, you know, I figured we'd go with the traditional poutine. I don't want to say like it looks so good because I feel like traditional poutines all more or less look the same. Like, you know, some of them might maybe have more sauce, some of them maybe less. But I will say that the curds look super squeaky and super chewy and delicious. So really, really looking forward to this. And fries, I think that's a key here. Really, really high quality fries being essential to any good poutine. And actually, if you look inside the store, they have a big old sack of potatoes, like kind of like how Five Guys is always super proudly displaying their potatoes, and they're usually from like Idaho or something. But here the potatoes, you know, showing that like they're using real potatoes, none pre-frozen, to get the best fries for their poutine. And the store kind of looks kind of interesting on the inside. I'm guessing this guy who, you know, is photoshopped over all of these bodies, I'm guessing he's the person who founded Smokes, I'm presuming. So yeah, you know, it just kind of looks like your standard chain restaurant. But okay, we'll take a bite of the poutine. Okay, there's a lot of sauce, so some of the fries are kind of falling apart, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, that means that they're really saucy. So, all right, I finally got a forkful. This is some smothered gravy, some gravy smothered fries, and a curd, and the sauce, of course. So, all in one bite. All right, let's dig in. Oh, wow. Ooh, that is really good. Oh, I gotta take a second bite. Before I do anything else, I gotta take a second bite of this. This is incredible. This is like one of the best poutines I've had. Wow. And you know I'm not Canadian. I haven't had a ton of poutines besides New York Fries and that place in Montreal, La Banquise, which was very, very good. That place probably a little better than this, but this is, wow, for a fast food place, this is blowing me away. These curds are the best part. I don't know if you hear that squeakiness. Wow, so I've had New York Fries. Now maybe this is just because this is a New Jersey location, so they feel like they can, you know, maybe the quality is not as good as in Canada. But the New York Fries that I went to, I felt like the curds were a little bit more, like they weren't really chewy. They were kind of more, they were cheesy and they tasted good, but they weren't like, they didn't have that chewiness, that squeakiness. But here at Smoke's Poutine, wow, like these curds, like, I don't know how I can show you, you know, these curds, like they just have like a rubbery texture, a squeakiness, and if I press down on it, maybe you can see that it's bouncy. I don't know how I can show you. I usually try to show you these things rather than just say them. I don't know how to show you, but trust me, like if I shrunk myself down to like an ant, I could like bounce up and down on that, like, you know, I'm on like a trampoline or something. But I really think that that's the key. Like you really got to have the cheese curds be like squeaky. Otherwise, it wouldn't be too much different from mozzarella almost in a way. Like the squeakiness, the chewiness of the cheese is key. But other than that, just like New York Fries, just like La Banquise in Montreal, These fries are excellent. Like they're being cut in-house, made from real potatoes, fresh potatoes, you know, skin on them left and everything. Like they taste great, like great beefiness in the gravy, along with almost like some subtle sweetness, like almost like, I mean, after all, poutine is from Montreal, so it almost kind of has like some French beef stew flavors almost in a way. I mean, I thought this was fantastic. So anyways, I'm gonna eat this, then I need to head to somewhere tonight. That part, maybe I'll just gloss over it because that's for another video. But then there's another chain that I want to review in this video, so stay tuned. All right, guys, you know, just a shout out to Shub, the manager of the Smokes Poutine here in Adelaide. So super nice guy. So yeah, Shub, yeah, you're on UA Eats.
Yeah, how was your experience?
I really liked it, and yeah, I've had poutine a few times, and yeah, especially for I mean, this is like a fast food poutine, right?
Yeah.
Especially for a fast food place, I thought this was fantastic.
Thank you so much, and hope you see you again.
Awesome. Nice meeting you, Shub.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we just left Smokes Poutinery, and yeah, we actually have to go film another video. You know, I'm actually, let me show you real quick. I'm actually dressed up a little bit on the inside, so I was quite a bit overdressed for poutine, but it's okay. Today's when I need to film at High Steakhouse. So we're gonna go film a review at High Steakhouse. Then tomorrow, we wanna do one more Canadian chain and we'll call it a vid. So stay tuned. Whoa. All right, guys, so the last Canadian fast food chain we're gonna review, and if you recall, yesterday around this time, we reviewed a High Steakhouse. I decided not to fit it into this video, mostly because it's technically not a fast food chain. So yeah, I guess at this point, it's technically been 48 hours, but you know, it's okay. 24 hours, like in terms of like the meals, right? Like the placement of the meals. But the last Canadian chain I want to review is Pizza, and this is one of the biggest Canadian pizza chains. I guess it's kind of like their version of a Little Caesars or a Domino's or something. And yeah, they're really proud of their chains. All their chains have these Canadian maple leaf logos in them. So anyways, let's get some Canadian fast food pizza. All right, guys, I just picked up my pizza. It took about like 5 or 8 minutes for them to bake it and get it ready, but here it is here. Let's try to get back to our Airbnb quickly so we can eat this while it's still warm. All right, guys, we're back at the Airbnb now with our pizza, with our pizza. You know, it's actually kind of funny. Apparently, because this Canadian chain is called Pizza, Little Caesars in Canada can't use the pizza jingle or like catchphrase. They have to say something else. So yeah, copyrights. Funny, right? Yeah, let's take a look at one of the biggest Canadian pizza chains. Why don't we? Let's just take a quick look. Shoot, how do I open this guy? Ah, okay, there you go. Okay, well, oh, I guess that keeps it more secure. Now it almost looks like a little, like a, you know, it looks like a crab's mouth or something. So, all right, and this is you know, a Canadian fast food chain pizza, and it kind of looks sort of like Domino's, but just not as oily, not as greasy, although they do have Domino's here too, so I wonder how this compares to the American chains here. And the pepperonis are actually looking a little bit spiced, a little bit crispy, and you know, as far as fast food pizza goes, this doesn't look bad, and it actually smells quite nice. So nothing to it, let's just grab a slice. And even though this is chain pizza and cheese pizza might not be the way to go, I always like to evaluate how the cheese pizzas are at places. Okay? Yeah, it pretty much looks just like your chain pizza. It actually is kind of similar to Domino's. Now I might just be really hungry, but that's kind of nice actually. I mean, the cheese actually has nice flavor. Like it, you know, the dairy quality tastes pretty good. You know, it has like a nice it has like a slight sweetness to it. Like I actually kind of dig the cheese and the tomato sauce. Let me see if I can show you some of the tomato sauce. Yeah, the tomato sauce actually has some sweetness too, some slight zestiness, and I like that this whole pizza is kind of crispy. You know, like it's not too soft. It's got like some crispiness to it. Like the crust really has like a bit of a slight crunch, like a slight crispiness to it. And the pizza's cooked, you know, pretty evenly on the bottom. Like, you know, you get like a nice, you know, some people might think that this is cardboardy, but I don't know. I think it tastes kind of nice. It's almost like, you know, kind of like how calzones kind of have like a crispy texture, if you know what I mean, you know, in some calzones. No, you know, obviously this is still just fast food pizza, but I might even like this a little bit more than Domino's. And let's try one of the pepperoni slices, and then we'll call it a review. But again, the pepperoni's looking kind of crispy, you know, not too greasy, not too oily, and looks like the sausage is looking nice and zesty and spicy. Ooh, that pepperoni tastes great. Okay guys, the pepperoni tastes really, really good. Like it actually doesn't taste as zesty and as spicy as it looks, but what I love about the pepperoni is just how crispy it is. Like, you know, it's not greasy. You know, I don't mind a little bit of grease in my pizza, but I also hate when pizzas push out too much grease from both the cheese and the pepperoni, and it's like a big oily mess. But this pepperoni is like crispy, it's thin and crispy, so it adds like a nice, like delicious, savory, porky, you know, like a crispy, it's almost like eating like little delicious pork chips on top of this pizza. Like just look at how like crispy this pepperoni is, right? Like it's like, see, look, you can tell by the way this is breaking apart. Like it's crispy and crunchy, and like, I don't know, it's like delicious, like little sausage chips, like pepperoni chips, which I love. So honestly guys, I wish I had gotten just a full pepperoni pie. Wow, for a fast food pizza, I'm really, really impressed by this. I do think I like this more than Domino's for sure. So pizza, I really hope they open some of these in the States. But guys, I think that's gonna be it for this video. So thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I know this was technically 48 hours and not 24 hours, but you know, I think, you know, given the schedule, I think we were able to make it work out. But it was so cool to try all these Canadian chains, particularly fast food chains. I know people all know Tim Hortons. Like Tim Hortons is like the most famous one by far, and it's expanding across the whole world at this point. But I'm also glad I got to show Smokes Poutinery and Pizza. Both of those last two really, really impressed me. Smokes Poutinery, oh, delicious. I mean, pizza was great. You know, again, it's fast food pizza. It's not gonna be like incredible, but for fast food pizza, I really, really enjoyed it, particularly that crispy pepperoni. Tim Hortons, I kind of have more mixed feelings about. I feel like Tim Hortons is a little bit overhyped. The breakfast sandwich I thought was decent, but the coffee was kind of weak, and yeah, Tim Hortons I felt like didn't quite live up to my expectations. I felt like Tim Hortons was a little bit overhyped. But anyways, guys, it's been great to, you know, review all these Canadian chains, fast food restaurants, and yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you're Canadian, let me know what your favorite Canadian fast food chains are, or if you're not Canadian, like if you're you know, you visited Canada or you've lived in Canada for a while as like a student or as like a, you know, for work or something, or you know, you've just moved there. What are your favorite Canadian chains as a non-Canadian? Just in general, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because great minds eat alike. As always on this channel, if you like my vids, like and subscribe. That way you stay up to date whenever I post another video. So I'm gonna take this pizza with me over to the TV section there, and you know, I've been working pretty hard during this Canada trip, and I think I deserve some R&R, some amazing pizza and soda, you know, in front of the TV. I think I'm gonna maybe rewatch season 2 of Squid Game. I am such a huge fan of Squid Game. My patrons know this, you know, I've mentioned this in my Patreon account. Squid Game season 2, it lived up to all my expectations. I know not everyone liked it, but I thought it was great, and I can't wait for season 3. So until then, I'm just gonna rewatch season 2. So until next time, I'll see you later.